My name's Lynn Barrett. I'm the manager of SPARK, which is Stockport Progress and Recovery Centre. We're a mental health charity. We're currently under contract with the local authority, although we do have a certain amount of money that is raised through funding applications. Favourite features? I think it's the reporting. Just being able to look at, right, okay, well, what do we want to report on today? Do we want to report on the activities that we have, or do we want to report on the attendance, or do we want to report on how many women have attended, or do we want to report on how many referrals we've got at the moment, how many are outstanding? It just goes on, and I love it, and I play all the time on it. The staff have really kind of embraced it. It's enabled people now to be able to record their work and to see the real value of the input that they're having into people's lives, and it's taken an awful lot of that time-consuming work away. There's a search mechanism in it, so you can actually identify keywords and it will take you back to those notes. The actual reporting that you can gather, the report systems that are built in with CORS are really just what it says on the tin, the case outcome recording system. Just enables us and me as a manager to actually just gather reports about individuals or about a certain group or about the whole of the service, so that I can then report back to the people that are contracting us or are hopefully going to be providing us with any funding in the future, and also for the benefit of the service users. It benefits the service user by us being able to be involved in their care planning, help them to understand that their involvement at the centre is part of a process, it's part of a pathway in their recovery. I think the actual recording hasn't been the most difficult part, it's just been really seeing the true value of outcomes. I think one of the best examples I can give of how much of an easy system it is we've just recently had a couple of students, and I sat down with them and showed them how CORS could work and what we did with CORS and how to just do the basic information, and they were just absolutely overwhelmed and amazed by the system. They couldn't believe really that it could be so simple. It's a very visual tool that we can actually work with the service user on. You know, before a contract monitoring meeting I can lift a report off about how many people have attended a certain group at certain times, what kind of people, you know, the age, ethnicity, gender, that in itself, it's basic information, but it's very, very easy to just lift off the whole system, whereas before we'd be kind of hand counting, and we had a basic database before CORS, but it by no means was able to provide the report that we've now got. It's exceeded, I suppose, my expectations, if I did have any, is really the flexibility of the system, the way that we can adapt the outcome measures according to either the individual or the circumstances or how we as an organisation wish to. So we can very easily put in our own SPARK measures, you know, in a way that is service user friendly too, so that the service users can actually help us to identify how easy it would be to, or what the best way would be rather, for their participation and for their recovery to be recorded on CORS. We can use already kind of tried and tested systems, as well as inputting our own and developing as a team what those values are. CORS, because it records all the activity that is involved within our service and that takes place within our service, and it comes up with the actual times and how long people have participated for, then we envisage the CORS system to really be a very useful tool in terms of us being able to get true kind of charges and true value in a monetary way, the true value of the service. Self-directed support is quite a confusing process at the moment, and we're kind of learning along with our service users as to how we can keep Spark going in the future and really help the service users to be involved in that process as well, which is all part of our kind of ethos. Funding bids are always asking about what the outcomes are, what are the potential outcomes, what you're hoping for, what can we see if we give you this money, what will we get for our money really, which is quite right, you know, they're wanting to know what they're buying into, and we can very easily provide them with information that we're hoping this, and we can then back that up with evidence after a very short period of time throughout that kind of process of the funding. You can probably tell that yes, I would recommend CORS to other people. I think all organisations could benefit because of that flexibility that I've just been talking about.